When I was growing up, I used to have an extreme fear of having sex and penetration. It was unnatural. It was also something I wanted to experience and explore. So there was a duality to my experience and interest around sex and sexuality. It was something that my mom told me was fun and I would look forward to it, but it was also something that seemed like it would be painful and very, very uncomfortable. Like, people are going inside of other people. That's weird. So in this time between my childhood and now, I've progressed a lot in my fear of penetration and things like that. But I noticed that for myself, in different moments, there are things that make my experiences less amazing than what they could be. So today I'll be sharing about how some of my fears seem to show up in my encounters and ways that I've learned that help me feel better in dealing with them. Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Latia, and please like, comment, subscribe, or share if you feel so called. And today I'm just chatting about how challenging sex can be sometimes. And usually for me, it's the entry level portion of it. It's that transition from, oh, nothing's going on, to like, you're inside. That is my challenge to deal with. And I've found a few ways of dealing with it. So one of the ways that really works best for me is kind of relaxing. So there's different ways of relaxing, and I feel like the hardest thing to do when you're tense or stressed out is relax. It's like when someone's angry and it's like, don't be angry, and it's just like, I'm not angry, I'm not mad, who do you think is mad here? And it's just like, ooh, wow, I just made you more mad, and that did not do anything to help. So in trying to relax, sometimes I'll have someone tell me to relax. So I guess one way is just be like, hey, relax, calm down, it's okay. Usually if I know the person well enough, that will actually be soothing. So making sure I'm with someone I'm comfortable with is always priority and key. If I'm not comfortable with you, it's not going to go down very well. It's probably going to be very awkward and uncomfortable, and I'm just going to be like dead fish. Like, I don't want to give it to you, and I'm not happy. And that's how I retaliate, I guess. But if you're not with someone you're comfortable with and you do want to do it, then something that I've found recently that works for me is watching it as it happens sometimes. And this is usually more in the middle of something going on, like when it's already started. If I can see what's happening, it kind of takes away the fear and the anxiety that I have that I'm just fragile and I'm gonna break and be broken. Like, I know I haven't heard of a broken pussy outside of Insecure, but I tend to worry that I'm gonna break, I'm too fragile, I'm not strong enough to handle whatever is happening. And so sometimes it just works better if I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. Like, I know I looked in the middle of one time and it was like, for some reason, pro wrestling came to mind, and it was like, pile driver, that's so funny, like, ha ha ha. And I was just entertained, and then I was able to just kind of relax and just be like, oh, this is fun, okay. I'm not being murdered. I'm just chilling, having a good time. I am safe, all is well, this is play. I tend to be very anxious and not always realize when I'm stressed and tensed out, but that is something for me where I hold a lot of stress in like my stomach area. So like when I get turned on, instead of being like, oh, relax, and like breathing deeply and allowing everything to flow, I tense up. And even if I'm turned on, I tense. I'm like, what? You need me to relax? Like, you can't, I'm not, oh, that's a challenge. So that's something that works for me, as watching as it happens, so I know I'm safe and I know I'm okay. I'd actually gone to a BDSM club once and I saw a CBT chair, and I was like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's a cock and ball torture chair. And I was just like, what? And I don't know if you've seen one before or not, but it looked like a chair like this, had a little flap, and it had like a little baby guillotine. And I was just like, oh my gosh, someone's gonna die in that. That's gonna be so painful. Penis is gonna get broken. It's just gonna be weird. Like, why would you do that? And then when I saw someone using it, And he was there, and like, yes, he had pain, but he also felt pleasure, and I could see and sense it. It was like, oh, okay, he's not losing his genitals, it's just part of their play. So for me, watching the visual aspect of it, I'm pretty sure vision, even though I wear glasses, is like my main sense. It's like, let me look at things and be involved, and that helps me feel better about different experiences. So that is something that I've found works for me and like relaxing. I also find that, like, I guess the positioning helps depending on which way we're starting. So my favorite position to make sure I'm comfortable is missionary. I like to start on my back and just like be able to relax and like breathe deeply, hug the person if I need, and we're that comfortable and close, or like kiss so I'm not thinking about it, because like I think there's still the residuals of that fear for me that I just haven't escaped. It's just now that fear has transferred into a fear of delivering a child, but that's another story altogether. But whenever I'm in missionary position, it's really easy for me to kind of like relax and just give into the moment, be with the person, accept their energy, and really just feel connected in a way that it's like kind of like the precursor to the actual penetration. So that is a thing that I found really helps me out, because I tend to like be very tense, and I think for a lot of guys it translates to like I'm very tight, which is cool because they like it, but for me it's like, excuse you, I need some time to warm up for this. Like, we gotta shake off whatever I need to shake off to feel better about this. But I don't know if anyone else out there goes through different anxieties around sexual encounters, but I know that for myself, being relaxed helps. And I've even found that if I'm warmed up enough, I can have sex start when I'm like getting it from the back or in other positions. I just know that my preferred is missionary because it's easier for me to just kind of feel safe and taken care of. And I guess that's part of it. It's knowing that the other person's willing to take care of me, knowing that if I need them to stop, that they can stop, and just having those moments where it's easier for me to breathe and be more aware of like what's happening in my body. What are we doing? Like, what's going on? Like, let me sneak peek. Yeah, because sex is really fun and I like having it, and it just starts off really rough sometimes, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just how it is in my personal experience. I don't know if anyone else goes through that. So if you're a woman, and like, I am really curious because I meet guys who just like to go down on women, and they're like, oh my gosh, I just want to taste you, you're so beautiful and gorgeous, and you know, things like that. And I'm like, oh, you just have a thing for going down on women, so of course you're gonna want to go down on me because I'm a woman that you can go down on. But one of these guys was like, oh no, I actually like you. Like, that's why I want to go down on you so badly. And I was just like, oh. You like me. That's why you want to do this. It's not just because I'm a woman who's available and we're here and you're like, I just like doing it. You're like, I'm actually interested in you. And for me, that is something that hadn't fully crossed my mind. I just thought that was a pickup line guys use, that they're just like, oh, you're so cute. Oh, I like to go down on women. Oh, I want to go down on you and I want to taste you. Like, do other women deal with this? Because I feel like that's a line that I hear kind of like enough for me to feel like that's just a thing guys say. So I don't know. Like, I don't know how my experience compares to a lot of other people's experiences outside of I tend to be pretty comfortable around guys. They're pretty chill for me to deal with and I have fun with them, so it works out. I'm really good at attracting guys and having fun with them. I don't feel like I'm the best at keeping them necessarily, but there are guys that I've spent like off and on, we'll keep in touch. So it's like we're not dating, but when we hang out, we have fun. So I'm just curious, what are your dating experiences like? Do you ever deal with stress whenever you're going through the penetration phase, that entry point, like as the mission begins? If you do, I hope that one, if you're with someone who you're comfortable with, that if they notice that you're tense and they can let you know, like, hey, relax, like I got you, and they'll like take care of you. If you look, if you're like me, I'm a visual person, sometimes looking helps take away some of the stress and it like helps me calm down. And then starting in missionary for me is like, that's the best way to start. That is my favorite way to, like, that just helps me get in the headset, gets right, it like warms up, and it's like, oh wait, I've done this before, psh, let's move on to something else. But that could be just the me thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.